Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco Dish Out on Movies, the only movie review show on YouTube to review movies in terms of food. It's just Marco here once again, and I am here today, which I don't know when I'll actually post this video because tomorrow is my off day, and I want to be, honorable about, not really doing anything on those off days, even YouTube videos. So I might post this on Wednesday. Not really sure, but this is going to be the definitive ranking for the Subspecies movies. Which, very, very interesting. It's so weird because things happen in life where they feel like nothing. But then, this is like a big culmination, we started reviewing Subspecies in 2021, only doing one entry a year. And now we have watched and reviewed all 6 of them. And it's just weird because as a kid, I used to go to Hollywood Video a lot. And that will come up later in this video too. Wink, wink, spoiler alert. And I used to see huge posters for these full moon movies. Like, I can't remember exactly what it was, but I swear to God, my Hollywood Video, I wish I took pictures. I wish I did, because I think they had a giant Killjoy mural. And, you just remember going to the VHS stores as a kid and seeing the covers. And I remember seeing the Subspecies covers and thinking like, oh, wow, Radu, he is so cool. And he is such a scary character that he is so evil. He is so scary that I can't watch his movies until I'm like 18. Because they're so scary. He just looks like someone who's gonna kill you. He does not look like what's that guy, the fucking did he have a name on Sesame Street? I mean, I know he's Dracula, but didn't he have a name? The Count they call him Count Dracula. I'm being stupid right now, but he's not Count Dracula, he is Radu. And so it was just really weird and kind of surreal watching these full moon movies and finally seeing what Killjoy really was. Because, again, as a kid, I thought Killjoy was, terrifying. I thought that from those posters, those must be, the scariest movies of all time. In fact, that would be a really interesting way to do some pieces of art, or maybe even to make some movies, to make some shorts, is to do what did I think this movie was going to be based on the cover. That's actually a really interesting idea. I'm going to have to write that down. That actually sounds really fun, but also really daunting, because I don't think anything could really, recapture, but it was weird finally seeing Killjoy and Radu in their actual movies, because both of them were kind of disappointments. I mean, Killjoy, I like the first Killjoy movie. It's the only serious one in the series. And I thought it was actually really good, even though it was low budget and it was an indie movie. And then the rest of them, they're just kind of like comedies. They're crappy comedies. And they're not very good, especially the 4th and 5th one. Hopefully they don't make a 6th one. And then the Subspecies movies, they're a weird assortment of movies, because what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when, every year I think a lot of people, not this year, unfortunately, this is the only year we have not done it, but around Valentine's Day, you get a box of chocolates. You get a big box of assorted chocolates, And sort of the fun thing is that, you try all the different ones and you never know what you're going to get. And, it's fun. It's very, very fun to eat a box of chocolates, even though the calories are ridiculous. It is so unfair. It is just like with Oreos, like I calculated how much, I don't want to say anymore. Just Oreos, they cost you. They cost you a lot. Oreos are evil. And that's why I love the Oreo McFlurry, because it's only 400 calories, but it tastes like 1,000 or something, But anyways, the Subspecies series is like a box of chocolates, and that each movie is kind of like, you pick a chocolate up out of the box and you taste it. It could be a caramel, it could be a cream, it could be a chocolate truffle. And no matter what it is, it's just kind of like a fun little thing. It's not something that we take very seriously. Like this ranking isn't like the most important ranking ever. It's just another vampire movie series. And it's really unfortunate because I wish that the guy who played Radu back in his prime, I wish that he had gotten the type of movie that I envisioned as a kid. The type of brutal, just depraved, just insane, bloody ass movie. Like I can't, I don't even want to tell you guys what I pictured as a kid, but it was just, I always pictured like blood spraying out everywhere, and Radu like just, like I had some really strong visuals. Unfortunately, the movies did not honor my visuals, and that's just par for the course. So anyways, 7 minutes into this video, holy shit. Sorry guys, I like to talk. Sue me. It's a fucking podcast. Like, I like to talk. Like, I love to talk on my YouTube channel. Surprise, surprise. So I am going to rank all 6 Subspecies movies, including the new one, which it is now not new. It is 2 years old, going on 3, and also the spin-off Vampire Journals. So, number 6 is Subspecies 5. This movie is weird. It's weird because I don't want to shame the actor, as I said in the review, but he is an older gentleman. And the character arc and the story that they give him, it is like that of a character arc and a story for an actor who would be 20-something years old. It's not a story, it's like a coming-of-age, story that's given to, an older guy. And the movie just, it keeps on going places, and it never really sticks with one story and does that story really well. It's just, it's all over the place. It's very, very confused. It's muddled. It feels almost like Full Moon they should have made Subspecies movies the whole time, all these years. And they had all these ideas, and they just shoved them all into this one movie, and it really wasn't great. The acting was very good. It was a very well-made movie, yes, but the story was terrible. It does not really feel like a prequel to the original movie, which is what it's supposed to be. And once again, there are no subspecies in the Subspecies movie. So that's really weird, guys. Those subspecies, they should be, at the center of the movie. Yes, Radu is the main character. He's the bad guy. But the subspecies should be there, too. It's literally in the title. So, yeah. You could really make a meme, too. You could make a meme with the subspecies and then put like a caption like they broke Radu out of a cell. They never showed up again. Like, that's how badass they are, like, because it's so weird. It's like, this is supposed to be their series and they're not even there. So number 5 is Subspecies 3. This movie was a huge disappointment because the second one was such a great movie. After the first one was garbage, the second one, it really took the series in a better direction, and it was a lot better. The acting was better. Everything was better. It felt like a huge apology for what the first movie was. The problem is the third one, it felt like they took like a train and they did a train wreck. This was a train wreck of a movie. It was a train wreck of a sequel. It felt like they undid all the things from the second one that made it good. And basically the whole movie took place at the castle, at the outside of the castle. And literally the story was like, they need to break into the castle to kill Radu and free Michelle. That's all the movie is. And it's so boring and basic, disappointing. It's kind of corny, like in some parts, and so yeah. Number 4 is Subspecies 1. This is a movie that I think is kind of overrated. I mean, I don't know why people say it's like the greatest horror movie ever. It's very, very much like pre-Twilight. Like, it feels like Twilight in beta testing. Like, you have this like good vampire, Stefan, and he's in love with this really, really boring woman. She's as flat as a plank of wood, physically and in terms of her acting. She's very, very boring. And he's in love with her, and Radu is in love with her at the same time, just kind of queer. And, it's a really weird movie. It's really boring. This is a boring movie. It's so boring. I mean, oh my God, I hated this movie when I first saw it. But the thing is that it is still an okay movie at the end of the day. It's not like a horrible movie. It's not like a 0 out of 10. It's just like a 0 out of 10 in terms of... What was my point going to be there? I was like, it's not a 0 out of 10, but it's a 0.01 out of 10, I guess you could say that. Number 3 is Subspecies 4. Now, this is an issue because I literally cannot remember. I cannot remember Subspecies 4 at all. Like, I remember there was like at the beginning of the movie, they killed off like most of the good characters that we liked from the third one in a car crash. And then Michelle, I think she was taken to this evil doctor, and there was this whole plot with like an evil doctor and the blood. It was just so mediocre, and it was entertaining, but it was like it's forgettable. I mean, I literally forgot it, and you guys know I have a really, really good memory. Really, really good. I mean, not perfect. Like, I wish it was perfect. This is a little fun fact, I really place importance on memory. I try to remember everything. And I mean everything. And it's really tough, obviously, because, there's a lot of stuff that happens in your life. But, like, I cannot remember Subspecies 4. And that's pretty bad. I mean, that is pretty bad. And I know this ranking video is pretty bad because I'm making the series sound like it's terrible. Well, whatever. Number 2 is Subspecies 2. Now, Subspecies 2 as I said before, it is the best movie in the Radu series because they took the series on a much better direction. Radu is a lot better as a character. There's no Stefan. There's no stupid Stefan, the pretty boy, Twilight boy vampire. The actress who plays Michelle, she's hot and she can act at the same time, which is, always the preferred route in these horror movies, especially like low budget horror movies. If she's hot and she can act, you've already gotten like at least a guaranteed 2.5 stars out of 5 from me. You know why? Because I'm a guy and I like to watch movies with pretty women in them. Like it's not like a bad thing. And so Michelle in this movie, she's very, very beautiful. She's got nice boobs too, and so she looks really good in this movie. And besides that, like the story is actually, it feels like a much better story than the first one, whereas the first one was like all about these, unsuspecting tourists getting taken advantage of, which we've seen that like 1,000 times. Subspecies 2 was all about like a sister looking for her sister. And I thought, that's a much better story. And it actually felt like there's stakes to the story. It's a scary story. Michelle becoming Radu's fledgling, which this was at the time where being a fledgling was mysterious and you didn't really know what that meant. And so you just kind of imagined all these horrible things that could entail, which it turns out in the fifth one, in order to be a fledgling, all you do is just sit around all day and drink blood. That doesn't really sound very scary to me. It just sounds kind of gross. And so, number 1 is Vampire Journals. And I know a lot of you are going to be like, no, you betray me. You betray me, Marco. Why would you do that? If you guys didn't recognize that voice, that was the guy from last year. Safi and I watched this full moon movie called, I think, Beyond the Seventh Door. And it's probably one of my favorite low-budget movies of all time. And the main character, he was a Yugoslavian, like Tommy Wiseau. And the whole movie sounded like this. And so I just wanted to bring that voice back really quickly, just for fun, just for nostalgia. Because at the heart of it, at the core of it, I want to admit I am biased towards Vampire Journals because I have nostalgia for Vampire Journals. As a kid, I would go to Hollywood Video and I would get a bag of gummy worms and I would get Vampire Journals introduced by William Shatner. And I just loved that movie. It was such a fun experience, going home after school, which always sucked, and watching Vampire Journals and eating gummy worms. And they gave you just the right amount of gummy worms too. It's not like nowadays where you get a bag of chips and then like half of the bag is gone. You know what I mean? Like you got a nice sizable little bag of gummy worms, and it was really, really good. And also I will say that like the movie itself, because I also want to step out of the bias, even though that is at the heart of why I put this movie at number 1, and say that like this movie was actually a really, really fun, interesting movie. You have this character, he's like a good vampire. He wants to protect this violinist from the evil vampire Ash. And I thought that it was like a refreshing movie, and especially putting it in the context of the Radu series, the Subspecies series, it's refreshing because it feels like a different perspective. Like the funny thing is that Subspecies 5 almost feels like a ripoff of Vampire Journals, and that it feels like they're trying to add the Vampire Journal's spice into Radu. And I don't think that ever was going to work, because Radu is the bad guy. And I also think there's some good action in this movie. I think there's a solid ending. It's actually a good movie. It's a good full moon movie, and it really holds up. Like, back when I watched it in 2022, which that's another reason I'm nostalgic for this movie, is because in the last month or so of being at my old house, which will return in the future in a different form, spoiler alert, this was one of like the last movies that I watched there. You know, because Safi and I, even though we had to move out for no legitimate reason, we reviewed a movie a day. We did daily videos while moving out of a house that was like packed full of stuff. And so it just, the fact that we did this video was actually really, really nice of us, because like we were going through a lot of stuff and we didn't have to do those videos. And so, but it again, there's a double layer of nostalgia for this movie. You know, I remember the last time I watched this movie, I was sitting at the computer, which I have the computer, I have the desk, but I was sitting in my old computer room and I was playing the Simpsons game on Roblox, which I miss playing Roblox. My computer is so fucking old, I can't play Roblox, I can't play Steam, I can't play Tubi, I can't play Amazon, I can't play Netflix. I literally can almost do nothing on my fucking computer. But I remember, and I think I was eating chicken soup, which was really good, and I remember that feeling watching this movie. This movie, it really, really is like a biased choice, because I do think that Subspecies 2 is the better horror movie. Like, if you want to watch a Radu movie, the best Radu movie, then watch the second Subspecies. But if you want to watch a better movie overall, I would actually highly recommend Vampire Journals. The title is very generic, but it's a fun movie. And in honor of Hollywood Video and all that shit, you know, that should never have gone away, by the way, go get yourself some gummy worms and watch Vampire Journals. So, overall, this was a fun ranking video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like this video and comment and tell us how you would rank the Subspecies movies. I am so sorry that I cannot remember Subspecies 4, but again, it just shows that it's not really that great of a movie, doesn't it? In fact, I was actually considering putting it lower just because I can't remember it. And then please subscribe to our channel if you'd like to see more honest movie reviews and rankings. And lastly, I would implore you to join my Patreon. We have a Patreon page. It is the Safi and Marco Dish Out on Movies Patreon. And it is full of behind-the-scenes content for my filmmaking work. There's going to be a short film coming out on October 31st, Halloween. And there's tons of bonus videos and a lot more bonus videos to be added soon. The link is in the description. So goodbye, everybody. See you soon.